Today on the channel, the best of 2025 countdowns continue, and we got a big one here today as we're counting down my top 10 WWE Ultimate figures of 2025.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another best of 2025 countdown video. And today we got one of the big ones as we're counting down my top 10 favorite WWE Mattel Ultimates of 2025. And we did do a video already with the Ultimates for 2025. We'll call it my top 10 sleeper Ultimates, or if you want to be technical, 20 through 11. So check out that video if you did miss that one. But this is the cream of the crop, Macho Man style, my top 10 personal Ultimate Edition figures of 2025, and quite the year for the Ultimate line. A far cry from the old days where we got, what was it, 8 Ultimates the first year maybe? I would have to think we got over 40 this year. I could be wrong on that number, but we got a heck of a lot of Ultimates, making these countdowns tougher than ever to do. And here we are with the cream of the crop, as I said, my top 10 favorite Ultimates of 2025. And as usual, this is my list. Put your list in the comments down below. My list is 100% right because it is my list. I hate that I have to explain that, Todd McFarlane, but I do. But guess what? Your list can be 100% correct, 1,000,000,000% correct, because it's your list. Put it in the comments down below. We're going to start at number 10, work our way to number 1. Number 1 being my absolute favorite WWE Mattel Ultimate figure of 2025. So without further ado, let's kick it off at number 10. All right, we kick off the countdown, of course, at number 10. And I will say this performer at number 10, I really thought this would be a top 5 Ultimate for me this year. He's fallen a few places, but not necessarily in my heart. I would easily call him the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. And he comes to us from the Coliseum collection. Another figure so nice, I had to buy it twice. It is the Honky Tonk Man. You know me, I love the Honky Tonk Man. I do view him as the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. A lot of great memories and definitely a welcome addition into the Coliseum collection, because I really don't know if we're ever going to get another Honky Tonk Man Ultimate. So if this is all we get, it's pretty good. And the extra heads here with the new head sculpt made me buy 2 of these. Now, there is some figures I like more than this, but I didn't feel I needed to buy 2. This one I needed to buy 2 for the jumpsuit. And of course, his ring gear here with the messed up hair, all mad after a match. And the cool thing I did with this is he does have a guitar with each one. Obviously, I gave one of the guitars to Joe Hendry from the Ringside Unsanctioned Collection TNA line just recently. So I got a little use out of that as well. But I love the Honky Tonk Man. I love the Coliseum collection. And this one was a great one. Maybe fell a little bit, but still a top 10er coming in at number 10. Countdown rolls on to the number 9 spot, and Todd McFarlane from the couch, of course, my co-host over here, Todd McFarlane. Todd, this is going to be a controversial one, and I guess every number is controversial to somebody in this day and age. But number 9, I have to imagine a lot of people have at the very top of the list, and I'm going to explain myself. This is still a great figure. This is still number 9. It does come from Mattel Creations. It is an Ultimate Edition, obviously. It was part of a 2-pack with his wife, Brandy Rhodes. It is Cody Rhodes right here, looking absolutely amazing in his WrestleMania garb. A beautiful figure, a must-own figure, there's no doubt about it. The problem I have that holds this back a little bit is the biggest part of this is the mask and the big like train, the wedding train back here, whatever you want to call it. I guess a cape. Yeah, you're exactly right. Cape season. It's the entrance gear for him and the mask on this one. Now, we're going to lose a little bit of shine because they are repurposing this mask in the future. So in my brain already, it doesn't feel as special as it should. And it's really about the outerwear costume on this Cody here, because when you take all that off, it is a little bit paint by numbers Cody. And that's just the way it goes. It's not a bad thing at all. Still an amazing figure. Still a figure I love. Comes in at number 9. It is Cody Rhodes. We're feeling great at number 8, and number 8 selection, you could say maybe he's the comeback kid, as we've had a couple of different Ultimates of him over the last couple of years. Something just a little bit off with every single one, but they nailed it this time. A beautiful, beautiful figure, a figure I'll probably pick up another one of eventually. Who are we going to at number 8? We're going to old Eddie Guerrero. Addicted to the heat is what we are right here. Fabulous color on this one. Fabulous head sculpts. Great accessories. A lot of fun for this Eddie Guerrero. Now that we're making bloody figures, I would love to have a bloody Ultimate Eddie Guerrero in the future. Hopefully that maybe is on Mattel's list. We'll see what happens, but this one blew me away how much I did end up liking this one. As I said, he had a couple of rough Ultimates. Still good, just not perfect. This is basically perfect representation of what they were going for here. At number 8 with Eddie Guerrero. Countdown rolls on to number 7, and number 7 is another Ultimate that I said, hey, this makes sense. I want this, but turned out way better than I thought. I also bought multiples of this figure along the way. Got to get a deal when you can get one. And number 7 could be one of the most underrated performers of the 1980s WWF. The more I watch some of that classic stuff, I never took him for granted, but I always thought, yeah, he's there. He's a tag team. He's solo. But man, talk about an underrated performer that really stepped his game up from his time in the UWF, Jim Crockett Promotions, etc., to the WWF. Who are we talking about? Well, we're serving hard times with the Big Boss Man Coliseum collection. I was always aware of the Boss Man. He was always respected. He was always a threat. We never thought of him as a title contender in the Intercontinental or World title. But man, oh man, was he always around, and definitely better than I imagined him as a kid when I watch him now, if that even makes sense. And it translates over to this action figure. We've had a lot of Big Boss Man figures from Mattel, but this Elite playing a lot of hits. You get the glasses, the extra hands, the extra heads. You do get the Billy Club there for him. You can club somebody to death if he needs to. You got the cuffs, you got the ball and chain. There was a lot going for this Boss Man figure. A sleeper character of the 80s and definitely a sleeper character in this top 10 list, the Big Boss Man. Coming in, number 7. Countdown continues at number 6, and a little deja vu with 7 and 6, as I did buy multiples of both of these performers. And this guy is one of the greatest big men in wrestling history, if you ask me. To me, the greatest big man is Big Van Vader, but maybe a close second. I'd have to put the pen to the paper. Number 6, we're going to Bam Bam Bigelow Coliseum Collection. I loved all the extra accessories you get with this one. I also love the merchandising shirt, but he's also in such an iconic gear from Once Upon a Time for Bam Bam. Now, I would really love an LT era Bam Bam, and I would be loving an Ultimate ECW era Bam Bam as well. So I do feel there's some meat on the Bam Bam bone for the future, but this is a lot funner than I anticipated it to be, and we've got a decent amount of Bam Bams from Mattel. But this one at number 7, I went back and forth, and when I made the list final today, Bam Bam Bigelow just narrowly edged out the Big Boss Man at number 6. We've hit the number 5 selection. You got your list together. Put it in the comments down below and put it in order. That's the hard part. That's the fun part. Make sure you subscribe to both my YouTube channels. We got content every single day, especially this time of year. Extra busy, things moving fast. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a video. But here we are at number 5, and once again, we take a trip to Walmart. Surprisingly dangerous this time of year, and beautiful, Todd McFarlane. But number 5, we go to the Monday Night Wars, and I'm fully expecting somebody to have this and say, hey, this was my number 1 Ultimate figure of 2025. I can easily see that happening. You like what you like, you don't what you don't. It's your list, just like it's my list. Now, this is one of, if not the most popular performers of all time. Easily a Mount Rushmore for the majority of wrestling fan base. I totally understand it. But my crazy brain that we've talked about for years on the channel, not in my Mount Rushmore. And I do prefer maybe a different gimmick from this character. But that being said, coming in at number 5, Stone Cold Steve Austin Ultimate Edition. I got the arrested version here, and then you got the beer swigging version here after a match, I guess is what we'll call that. I did buy this one twice here. A very, very good Stone Cold Steve Austin. Constant learning, constant improvement. Better than the original Ultimate we got Once Upon a Time. Happy to see this one here. I think a lot of people were diving into this one this year. And like I said, I can see this being at the top of a lot of lists in the 2025 countdown. But for me, coming in, number 5. For the number 4 selection, I fully anticipated this to be the number 1 Ultimate Edition of 2025 for me. A performer I loved as a little kid, and a guy that I'd never seen anything like it when I was a little kid. The first time ever seeing this kind of move set, adding a little face paint, and then you throw some mist in there, you're playing all the hits. And at number 4, we're going to the Ultimate line for Mattel. We're going to the Chase Edition, Great Muta. Now, if you checked out the sleeper list, you saw the regular edition Great Muta. I've always preferred him in black. I've always think of him in black when I close my eyes, and he's more devious in black as well. But the Great Muta, an all-timer of a performer, in my childhood, seeing a moonsault for the first time, seeing the mist sprayed for the first time. I know others did it before, but the first time I ever saw it was from the Great Muta. And let me tell you, it made an impression on little Kyle. And then you throw in Gary Hart as his manager, Terry Funk with him, feuding with Sting. Dare I say we're playing all the hits for little Kyle, and that translates into action figures all the way to number 4 with the Chase Edition, Great Muta. Can't believe it, we're down to the final 3, my top 3 Ultimates of 2025, and the number 3 selection is one we've been waiting for a heck of a long time. Now, in the mind's eye of many people, this is not what they think of with this performer. And let's be honest, even for me, I'm a huge fan of this character. This isn't where I go first, but you got to start somewhere, and I'm glad we at least got one version of this. You could say this is a mascot of the channel here, my channel. You throw in the Rios, we got the Landos, the real ones remember the Roadblock days. You got Todd McFarlane on the couch. You got my wife, Angie. You got my dad, of course, occasionally on the channel. You got my animals, my dogs, occasionally my kids. Once again, we got a lot of friends of the channel, but there might be the biggest friend of the channel could be Jesse the Body, the Ventura Coliseum Collection, coming in at number 3. Now, like I said, most people think of announcer Jesse. Maybe they think Governor Jesse. Maybe they think PE teacher Jesse Ventura. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm extremely excited to get Jesse Ventura and these Mattels starting to roll out here. And this is very, very fun. Obviously based on the LJN Once Upon a Time that was supposed to be that didn't happen. They went a different colorway. I really like this figure. I'm playing a little of that long game. I want to get a few more of these in my collection. Obviously, I love Jesse Ventura. Obviously, I love wrestling figures, and I go back to the LJN days as well. So I was really excited for this, and I continue to be excited about this figure, and that's why he comes in at number 3 in the top 10 year-end list. Getting close to the end, we're at the number 2 selection, and the number 2 selection was a Target Ultimate exclusive very early on in 2025, and I feel like this figure does not get a lot of love, and I don't know if that's just not being Legend fans out there or what the reason is, but I don't hear a lot of people talk about this figure, and I feel like it's kind of been forgotten about in the mix of 2025 Ultimates, but it wasn't forgotten about me. I walk by this figure, and it always catches my eye. Maybe it's how I have it posed. I'm not exactly sure. Once again, a figure so nice, I had to buy it twice. It is the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Man, it just makes me feel like we need a sweet, sweet Sapphire figure to go with this one here. But we got Dusty, and I bought this twice, so I get a regular ring gear Dusty, I guess we'll call it. But then I wanted to get the Boss Man one dancing and doing his thing over here. A fun, fun figure, a big man, a legend. Just an awesome, awesome rendition of this era of Dusty Rhodes. And we've had some rough Dusties from Mattel this year, but far and away, this is the best Dusty maybe Mattel ever came out with. I absolutely love this figure. It comes in at number 2, which means there can only be one. And longtime viewers of the channel probably know where this is going. But what is the number 1 Ultimate of 2025? Stay tuned. Here we are, we're at the number 1 selection, the number 1 Ultimate figure of 2025. Once again, put your list in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channels as we got countdowns, we got unboxings, we got it all going on, including every single figure we talk about in these countdowns. I did do an unboxing on, so check out any of those you might have missed along the way. But here we are at number 1, and longtime viewers of the channel probably know why this is number 1, but to me, this defines wrestling action figures for me personally. Once again, it's my list, as I always have to say. But the thing that made me basically a fan for life was back in the day, 89, 90, what is time once again, getting the original version of this figure as a child. And I can't explain to anybody how big of a moment that was for action figure collecting for me, and just playing as a kid and just encompassing my childhood and just the memories I had playing with this one and how big of a shot in the arm it was to my fig fed and just everything in between. My favorite character finally getting his first ever figure, and now many years past this, getting it reimagined in the Ultimate line thanks to the Coliseum collection. Where do we go at number 1? Well, you guys know, a figure so nice I had to buy it thrice. It is the Ultimate Warrior, of course, LJN Grand Toys inspired. Maybe it's not the most iconic looking Ultimate Warrior, but what it represents, what it symbolizes, that original Ultimate Warrior figure that truly changed my life in a lot of ways, that started all this madness, that really started this YouTube channel, to get a tribute to that figure so many years later is extremely, extremely special. And I know there's an LJN coming out next year. It's going to be interesting, my thoughts and feelings once I get that in hand and once I do see that. But this is the beautiful homage, Todd McFarlane, to the Warrior Grand Toys figure, and I absolutely love it. And then they throw in some extras like the t-shirt and the flag banner I have hanging in my house right now. It just encompasses everything of me being a wrestling fan as a little kid, an extremely special figure for me, and I knew this would be number one the minute I opened it. I love this figure a lot. I'm probably going to pick up another one in the future. It's just an amazing figure. It is the Ultimate Warrior Coliseum Collection coming in at number one. So there it is. That's my top 10 Ultimates of 2025. Be interested to hear your list. Put it in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channels. Check out YouTube channel memberships and Patreon. Check out my podcast, available every Tuesday and on videocast on YouTube. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com, which I said is the name of my podcast. So for the Ultimate Warrior and the rest of the elites of 2025, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?
I'm solid gold.